Alright, Chapter 6, Section 4, Welding Position General. Welding is often known with the structure of the position that they were found with the technique they have in the deposit allow for the welding any position. Same welding process with all the position capabilities, while the others maybe used only one or two of the position. All welding classified accordingly with the position with the workpiece, with the welded joint, with the plate section, with the welded. There are four basic welded positions illustrated with the figure 630 and 631 pipe with welding position shown figure 632. The failed groove with the welding may be all the following positions. Flat position A, plates of the axis with the welding horizontal with the plates vertical and the axis of the weld with the horizontal. Vertical C, plate vertical with the axis of the weld vertical in overhead position. Plates are axle welded horizontal. Flat position A, the axis of the vertical weld with the horizontal. B, axis of the horizontal, axis of the weld vertical, axis of the weld horizontal for your horizontal overhead. Piper horizontal rotated welded at plus or minus 15 degree deposit filler metal at the near of the top. Pipe of the tube vertical rotated during the welding horizontal at plus or minus 15 degrees. Pipe of the tube horizontal fixed with the weld vertical up to plus or minus 15 degrees, and then pipe inclined fixed not 45 degree plus or minus 5 degrees not rotated during welding. Restricted ring tested ring E-test position 6GR TKY connections. Or 618 flat position welding. In position welding performed the upper side of the joint with the face of the weld approximately horizontal with the flat welding is referred to the term of the however the same position sometimes called downhand. A figure with a figure 630 view A with, for example, the flat position welding fillet with the groove welds. Horizontal position weld with the axis of the weld with the line with the length of the weld, perpendicular with the cross section of the center graph with the fillet weld with the position of the weld performed with the upper side of the approximate with the horizontal surface again for the approximate vertical surface. View B 631, page 630 illustrates the horizontal fillet weld. The groove weld with the position and axis of the weld lies some of the approximately with the horizontal plane with the face of the weld lie with the approximately vertical plane. View B, picture 630, page 630 illustrated the horizontal groove weld. Horizontal fixed weld with the pipe of the weld position, axis of the pipe with approximately horizontal with the pipe that not rotated during the weld. The pipe welding position shown in picture 632, page 631. Horizontal rolled welded and pipe with welded position welded performed in flat position rotating the pipe welded position shown in figure 632, page 631. Vertical position welding. In the position axis of the weld with approximately vertical with the vertical welding position shown in view C with the figure 630 and 631, page 630. In the vertical position, pipe welding axis of the pipe of the vertical with the welded vertical and perform horizontal position. Pipe may or may not be rotated the pipe welding position shown in figure 632, page 631. Overhead position welding. In the welding position, the welding is performed from the underside of the joint overhead with the positions are illustrated in figure view D, figure 630 and figure 31, page 630. Alright, position for pipe welding. Pipe welds are made with a different requirement with a different welding situation. Welding position dictated with the job with in general with the position fixed with it. In some cases, it can be rolled with a flat position work with the position procedure of the welding pipe are outlined below with the horizontal pipe roll. The line with the joint with the tack of the weld held in position. Steel bridge with the claim with the pipe mounted with a suitable roller. Figure 633. Start welding with the point with the C with the figure 633 progression upward with the point B. When point B is reached with the rotate with the pipe clockwise with the stopping the point with the weld is rotate with the C with against for the upward point B. When the pipe is being rotated, the torch should be held between the points B and C with the pipe rotated past. The position of the torch of the A point A with a similar for them in the flat with a vertical weld with the point B is approached with the weld assumes of the nearly flat position with the angle of the application for the torch for the red rod altered slightly to compensate with the chain with the 1/2 thickness of the rotated with the rollers and tack welds. Show the diagram and attacking welded plate with the rollers. The weld should be stopped just before the starting point with the air with a small opening remain with the start of the point with the reheat so that the air is surrounded with the junction with a uniform temperature of the weld ensure the complete fusion of the advanced weld and start pipe. Starting point. If the side wall of the pipe is more than a 1/4 inch thick, then the multi-pass weld should be made. Horizontal pipe fixed position weld. After tack welding the pipe to use up to tack of the welds for the orientation approximately shown in figure 634. After the welding has been started, the pipe must not be moved in any direction. Should the tack start on 1, 2, 3, 4, and A and B? Position over the pipe welding. 1. Welding horizontal fixed position of the pipe with the weld with the 4 steps that described below. Step 1 with the start at the bottom of the 6 o'clock position. Weld upward to the 3 o'clock position. Start back at the bottom of the upward to the 9 o'clock position. Start back to the 3 o'clock position. Weld at the top. Start Step 4, start back at the 9 o'clock position, work upward toward to the top of the upward overlapping bead. When downward welding passes 2 stages, start at the top of the work down one side with the bottom of the return with the top of the work, and the other side to join the previous weld, weld at the bottom. This welding downward method particularly effective with arc welding, since the higher temperature electrical arc moves the possible use of the greater welding speed. When arc welding speed is approximately 3 times the upward welding method. Our welding by backhand method is the joints with low carbon and low alloy steel piping can be rolled with the horizontal position, one half of the U of the wall thickness of not exceeding 3/8 of an inch, 2 thickness of the wall thickness 3/8 and 5/8 of an inch, 3 passes of the thickness 5/8 of an inch, 7/8 of an inch, 4 passes of the wall the thickness 7/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, and vertical pipe fixed position weld the pipe in the position where the joint of the horizontal more frequently weld with the backhand method of the weld is started with the tack and carried or continues around the pipe. So the vertical fixed position weld with the backhand method, multiple pass arc welding, root beads, a line clamp at the U of the root bead with the figure 637, then start at the top of the bottom of the groove while the clamp is in position. No back ring is U of the care should be taken when they build it up with the slight with the bead of the inside of the pipe of the back ring, and the U of the root bead should be carefully fused to it. As much of the root bead with the bars with the line up with the clamp will permit should be applied with the clamp that is removed completely bead with the clamp that remove the filler bead. Care should be taken when the filler bead, the U bead with the figure 637, the view of the root bead in order to remove the undercut of the casual deposition root bead. 1 or more fillet beads are around the pipe usually will be required. Finished beads VUC with the figure 637 are applied over the filler beads complete with the joint usually with the weave bead with the 5/8 of an inch wide with approximately 1/16 of it above the outside surface of the pipe when complete with the finished weld is shown through D figure 637. The 637 is the root filler and finished welds. Alright, position for pipe welding. Aluminum pipe welding. Aluminum special joint details may have been developed and normally associated with the combination type of the procedure. The backing ring is not used for the most cases. The rectangular backing ring is rarely used when fluids are transmitted through the piping of the system. It may be used for structural application of the weight in the pipe. The tubular members are used to transmit loads rather than materials. Your forehand method, the work angle of the electrode over the center line with the welding of the gun makes the reference plane with the surface of the base metal of the plane perpendicular with the axis of the weld. Figure 638 shows the work angle of the fillet weld with the groove weld, the pipe welding, work angle of the electrode, and center line with the welding gun with the makes of the reinforced plane with the surface of the pipe of the plane with extending with the center of the pipe of the puddle. Travel angle with the electrode, center line with the welding gun with the makes of the reference line with the perpendicular axis weld with the plane with the welded axis. Figure 639 illustrates the travel of the fillet and the groove of the weld with the pipe welding. Travel angle with the angle with the electrode with the center line with the welding gun, make the reference line with extending with the center of the pipe through the arc of the line and the plane with the welding axis. The travel angle is further described with the dragging angle or push angle. Figure 639 shows both drag angles and push angle, which points toward the direction of the travel is known as a forehand position. 638 shows working on the fillet with a groove, and then 639 shows the fillet travel angle, the fillet weld travel, push travel, the drag and the axis of the weld, travel, push angle, drag angle. And forehand welding produces the torch of the torch held with approximately 30 degrees from the angle of the vertical of the direction of the welding, shown figure 640. The flame of the point of the direction of the weld, the direction between the rod of the molten puddle position permits the uniform preheating of the plate edges immediately ahead of the molten metal with the moving the torch of the rod with the opposite of the semicircular path. The heat can be carefully balanced to melt the end of the rod side wall of the plate with uniformly distributed with the molten pool. The rod is dipped to the leading edge for the puddle so that enough filler metal with it melted to produce the even welded joint. The heat reflected with the backward the rod keeps the molten metal with the distributed evenly with the both edges being welded. Molten tip of the rod. Note that the torch angle with a 45-degree view for the operation on the perpendicular with a 90-degree with the work surface view and at the end of the workpiece, work rod, torch tip, direction of the weld. The method of the satisfactory welding sheet with a light plate for all positions. Some difficulties encountered with welding heavier plate for some reason give it alone. For welding hand with the edge of the plate with it must be beveled to provide wide V 90-degree. Include the angle of the edge preparation necessary to ensure the satisfactory melting of the planing of the edge with the good penetration of the fusion with the welded metal with the base metal. Because of the wide V, relatively large motion of the puddle required, it is difficult to obtain the good view joint with the puddle when the puddle is too large. Backhand welding. Backhand welding, also known as the drag angle, illustrated in figure 641. Drag angle points backward for the direction angle. Note the torch on the rod angle, the view for the operator with the perpendicular work surface view from the end of the surface of the work period, weld rod and the torch tip. Um, Alright, in this method, the torch proceed with the welding rod shown figure 641, page 37. The torch is held with an angle of approximately 30 degrees with vertically away from the direction of the weld, with the flame of the directed with the molten puddle. The welding rod is between the flame and the molten puddle with a position with the required less transverse motion than the use of the forehand welding, backhand welding. Used principally for the welding heavier section because of the permits the use of the narrow V's at the joint and the 60-degree angle with the installation of good welding general. These less puddling, less welding rod used with the method of the forehand method. Section 5 is expansion contraction welding. Operations.